that good?
Yeah, you're good.
Okay.
Microphone check 1 2 1 2. If you don't know this podcast, it's cool. Be cool. It's already in his hands. He already knocked the camera over once.
I said I was sorry, man.
Anywho's it. Ladies and gentlemen, Kaylin and Bruce, welcome to the Judgment Podcast. I'm your host, Dontavius Rowe. Vince is to my left.
Yo.
Yes, Vince is back, y'all. Round of applause.
Thank you.
Let that be the last episode you missed. It's just awkward not doing this. It's like, it don't even feel like the Judgment Podcast unless you're here.
I'm sorry and thank you.
Well, if you can ignore Macho's lies, Vince wasn't in jail. Vince was at a seminar in which I fully support what he's doing, and I always support my brothers. And we took a week off due to just take a mental break because there's been a lot of personal things that's been going on in my life that, you know, I'd rather not talk about. But unfortunately, one of them is going to get brought up because the partnership that we once had, that's no longer happening. I mean, I wish that person the best, but once a person say the bridge is burned, I'm going to take it seriously and burn the bridge. You go your way, I go mine. So that's that. It's been a lot of it's just been a lot going on in which me and Macho, hell, even Vince, just had to take a mental break from things. And you know, I do apologize for that. But at the same time, it's just like it's important that we do this. It's important that sometimes we just gotta take a breather. Because I understand that once this podcast blow up, our schedules is going to be busy than a motherfucker. Because when we get our podcast deal, it's going to be with somebody. They're going to ask us to do 2 a week. You see what I'm saying?
Yep.
It's going to be a more professional setting and all this other extra stuff that's going on. And you know, we have to be able to take these breaks while we still can, especially as men, because men don't have a lot of people to vent to at all.
Yeah.
And this podcast is a safe space for men. Women are welcome. We don't discriminate, but this is a safe space for our male audience. But it feels good to be back. I kind of look at these podcasts as virtual diaries.
Okay.
Like we share our thoughts, crack our jokes, or inappropriate jokes. And, you know, we get things off our chest. Which right now is one of those moments because, like I said, I had to explain the situation with us. Vince wasn't in jail. Don't believe Macho. But yeah, it was just, we had to take a mental break. And it had nothing to do with the podcast. We could do this shit every week. But when life happens, that's a different story. Like, I got to tell you something off camera, too.
Okay.
Because I wanted to tell you before we got on camera, but you seem like you're in a positive mood, and I know this is going to piss you off.
I'll do my best to make you a liar.
Please do.
Okay.
Please do. Because if it pissed me off, I know it's going to piss you off.
I'm gonna hope you're a liar.
I hope I'm lying, too.
Okay.
But we're back, people. We're back. Feels good to be back. So, President Biden got the Roni. In Illinois, we have a governor called J.B. Pritzker. Big bloated motherfucker. He also has coronavirus.
Oh man.
Both of them are double boosted.
So it's almost like,
Wearing a bulletproof vest to get shot in the face.
yeah, no, it's like wearing a bulletproof vest, and the vest did absolutely nothing. You were shot in the chest and it went straight through. That's what it's like. Because if you got shot in the head,
Okay,
that would be
I
like
take
you
that
caught
back.
something else.
No, I'm going to take that back. I'm going to do this for metaphorical purposes. It's like wearing a bulletproof vest and you get shot in the arm. Round of applause.
You know that doesn't work, but it still works.
It doesn't work, but it still works.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. Double boosted. And you still got it.
Man, I mean, like, well, so was it supposed to be like they'd have less symptoms, or like, how was that supposed to go? Like, because I know that there are people who haven't gotten it, who still haven't gotten it, who didn't get it, the any booster, the original, and still haven't gotten it. So,
Shouts out to those people.
yeah.
To me, that double boosted shit didn't. Like, come on now. It served no purpose. I remember Jump Off Joe saying on camera that once you're boosted, you can't get it again. He was on camera saying that.
Yeah, but he's a politician. How do you know when a politician is lying? Their lips are moving.
The more you know.
Although it's a bit interesting with him though, because I could be wrong.
Mm-hmm.
But is he suffering from some type of cognitive decline? Because
I think so.
he's been like rambling.
He's been rambling since Obama was in office.
Yeah.
But it's a different type of rambling. He went from a slight ramble to now he's like fucking Boom Howard.
Right. Like, what are you... what?
Hold on.
What are you even saying?
I just witnessed a phenomenon.
Do 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 do.
This fly that was in my apartment just now
Mm-hmm.
flew around, went to the door, saw the opening, walked under the door, and flew out.
Well, that's interesting.
The fly literally just said,
I'm out of here.
I'm out of here. Like, my wife's calling.
Right.
Like, he literally said, I'll see y'all niggas later, and walked under the crack of the door and flew out. He saw himself out.
Right.
No fly was harmed throughout the recording of this podcast.
Well, that's one.
Round of applause. No, both of them.
No. The other one is soft line.
No, the other one that you saw fly was the one that walked out.
No, but what if...
Oh, it must have came back here. It's right there. Oh. Guess you're going to have to die after all.
Oh, dear.
What? Romeo must die.
That.
Unless it's stupid enough to fly through the fan and fatality itself.
I saw something really interesting the other day. I had a bowl of water in the sink,
Uh-huh.
and a fly was in there, but it wasn't able to, get out of the water. And so it was trying to fly out, but it turned itself into a speedboat. Zzz. It was trying to. Zzz. And I'm looking at it, it's like, that is fascinating. But, whatever. Listen.
Flies are the most adventurous idiots. They're very adventurous and they're very dumb. At times. But yeah, back to Jump Off Joe Biden. I just find it tickles me a little bit. I hope he's okay.
Oh no, I don't wish any harm on anybody.
Yeah, I don't wish any harm on him. It's just, I disagree with a lot of his politics. I disagree with a lot of his politics.
Yeah, like he sent $40 billion over to the Ukraine when we're going through all of this extra stuff over here, and we could have used that $40 billion for anything. Apparently it would have taken $47 billion to bail out all the small businesses that had to close.
That's stupid.
Like, if he had spent that much, like, even if he had only spent 40 for that, that would have increased the economy. That right there.
They don't think like that. Which
makes no sense. And then the bogus thing is, there's a lot of people who didn't like, Orange Man. And he actually thought properly as far as business went. But people didn't like him specifically saying things that, as far as they know, isn't actually true, but they feel bad about him.
In my honest,
he made them angry because of the stuff he said. So it's like, oh, we need to get rid of him because he makes me feel bad.
Honestly, I feel like the U.S. needs to mind their own damn business.
Man.
Because if we spent more time focusing on our own personal shit, maybe we could get shit right that's outside of our control. Because there's no way we are in this type of debt and you bail out the Ukraine before you bail out the people who voted for you.
I mean, if I'm not mistaken, as it is right now, we're buying gas from Saudi Arabia. And Saudi Arabia is buying gas from Russia at a discount, like basically half off. So
we're getting bamboozled.
Well, we're not getting bamboozled because we're still spending whatever it is, but basically they're getting free money. The Ukraine, Russia is selling it to them for $1, and they're selling it to us for $2. So I'm saying, like, that's not exactly.
And they're selling it to us for 10.
No, I'm saying, no, they're selling it to us for 2. But I mean, it's not actually $2. That's just a metaphor.
I know, but I was like, but they're selling it to us for 10.
Yeah, well, yeah. But I'm saying, like, man, it's like there's so many things that we could have done to make America great again. And it's so easy to do stuff. Like, there's a bunch of things that were set in place by somebody that were actually good for the economy that got, dismantled as soon as he got into office.
And we're about to be in our second recession.
Mm-hmm. Hey, no. Not recession, depression. Apparently it's coming up.
Joe Biden and America, this Boosie is for you.
Hey, bro, come on now, dog. Come on, man.
People were talking about, Orange Man for so much. It's like, oh, anything that he did, even things that didn't even need to be said. Like at some point, someone got angry. No, he asked. No, there was this lady. She was a reporter. She asked him, "What are you gonna do about or something about? Oh no, well, what are you gonna do about the coronavirus?" And he said, "Ask China." Right. And then she said, "Excuse me." She took her mask off because you're supposed to carry your mask. Like, "Excuse me." And he said, "Ask China." And so she was saying, she said something, and then this other's like, you know what, I'm done talking to you. Next. So another reporter came up, and she didn't say anything. She's just standing there, letting the original reporter say something. And he said, "You know what, I'm done." Walks off. Like they were having a press conference, he just leaves. And there was this one, I don't know what you call her, but she has her own show. And she said, "Oh, I can't believe that. Like, did you just see this? The president's gone mad. I don't get it." It's like, well, wait a second. So you're trying to tell me that if someone was annoying you with stupid questions, that you would just stand there and take it? So you're saying that right there would have meant that he was sane, being berated by somebody. It's like, no, I'm just not going to talk to you. I'm done. I'm walking away. That is probably one of the most respectful things that he could have done.
That is definitely true.
Just leaving and walking away. You think that something's wrong with him because he didn't fight her? Really?
Right. Women.
And somehow you think that made sense? No, the thing is, I don't even think it's that issue. I think it was that she was trying to make it seem like he was doing something way worse than he actually was.
No, but because it was a woman, they blew it up.
Well,
like, you got to think about it. Because it was a woman, and then she just so happened to be Chinese.
Was she Chinese?
I think she was Chinese.
I knew she was Asian, but I know she was Chinese. But okay.
You could tell by her reaction she was. Because she came out her mask so damn quick. Right. So chances are she was probably Chinese.
But I'm like, so it's almost like we didn't watch the same thing when she said that. Like, I can't believe what's happening. What's wrong with him?
Was it on Fox?
It was Rachel Maddow. So I'm not sure.
It might have been Fox.
It's possible. But I'm like,
ABC ate that up too.
I don't think we're watching the same thing for your reaction versus what actually happened on camera. I mean, what actually happened. And I'm like, what is wrong with you? And it made me feel the same way as that one reporter who was talking to Jordan Peterson. And she kept saying, so what you're saying is, and every time she would say something, it literally had nothing to do with what he said. Well, so, I was walking down the street. So what you're saying is you're going to destroy America. What is wrong with you, lady? Like, nothing that he said had anything to do with what she was saying. The question she was asking had zero to do with what he was saying. But you said, so what you're saying is, no, I'm not saying that. Why do you keep doing that? What is wrong with you?
Right.
No one said anything that you're saying. I mean, unless you're just trying to be, aggressive towards me.
That's the problem with like reporters today, because a lot of these reporters, a lot of these news companies like ABC, to me don't search for facts. They search for narratives. A lot of these companies don't search for facts. They search for narratives.
Did you hear about Did you hear about Young Ripper? You heard about what happened?
No.
He put out his own comic called Ism. Shout out to Young Ripper. He put out his own comic. I'm part of that. I put that out there. I mean, so
round of applause for being a part of that.
Now the thing is, at a certain point, he wound up raising the first time. It was close to $1 million, but the updated numbers is actually closer to 3 million. And he put it out independent, the Rippaverse. I mean, go sign up. Get whatever you can from him. I mean, I appreciate it. People may be angry at me for saying that, but why? It's a comic.
Right.
So apparently there were a lot of SJWs and a lot of other comic book companies saying that they didn't like him because he was anti-social justice and anti-woke. And it's like, no. He's not anti anything. He's putting out what he's putting out. Basically, anything that he's putting out doesn't have the rainbow flag in it. Doesn't have, basically, it's more representative to the way reality actually is.
He's not pandering.
Yes. The thing is, hey.
That man definitely needs to be supported.
Yeah. And the thing is, it's not like I support it because like the way that he has the comic book set up, it looks pretty interesting. So yeah, I'm gonna buy it. And I'm like, man, he's doing a good job so far. But as it is right now, apparently there's this thing where PayPal is holding everybody's money because apparently they have this. So it's not. Oh, so please, if you are supporting Young Ripper, please, you have to talk. Either get on your platform and talk to people. You have to go on social media and do whatever. As it is right now, the only thing that you can really do is doing that, because if you dispute it, it's going to go back on him, and it's going to make it seem like he's trying to take your money when he doesn't. He doesn't have access to it. If you've already put stuff through, you are going to get your stuff, but the money that he was going to get, he was going to do a bunch of other things that would have made what he was doing even better. He was going to reinvest the money. But as it is right now, he's actually still going to put everything out. It's going to be the same time. Like, everything's already printed. It's not even really, and everything's set up. It's not even really a pre-order. It's like it's just going to take a while for, like, he was actually, he was getting the money so that, it's not really a pre-order. It is a pre-order, but it's not. He has the stuff. He's going to still ship it out sometime in August, if I'm not mistaken. Maybe as late as September, but apparently he's going to be shipping out sometime in August. And I think it's great. The storyline looks pretty good, and it's actually an actual good storyline. Like, I don't know if people have noticed, but a lot of the comics that have been coming out over the last several years just aren't very good. And I'm not saying they're horrible. The storylines just aren't very good. It's like,
go woke, go broke.
Yeah. And the thing is, Marvel was losing money from all their comics, and the people who were writing the comics were saying, I don't care if you buy this comic. And it's like, so you're not in business? If people don't buy your comic, eventually you're going to go under.
And you're going to be out of a job.
Yeah. Like, and the thing is, and the main people who were buying, the main people who were putting those comics out for the people who would buy them aren't buying those comics. They were putting them out for people who don't buy comics. It would be different if, a lot of the SJW people and a lot of the woke people were buying comics. That's not, it would be like me selling, it would be like me selling oxygen to trees. Doesn't work. They make their own oxygen. They make carbon dioxide, which we love, but they don't necessarily need oxygen so much. If you put them in an extremely high oxygen rich environment, they will die because they don't have enough carbon dioxide. Like basically it would be the opposite for us. If we were in a place that had a large amount of carbon dioxide, we would asphyxiate. Yeah. We would suffocate. We would die. So why would you make something for someone who doesn't actually want it and expect them to support you? Just like what was it? Bill Burr was talking about how, women pretty much destroyed the WNBA.
Facts.
Because if women actually watched the WNBA, they would like there's more women.
No,
right?
That's the thing. Women destroyed, and I'm glad Bill Burr said it, because women destroyed the WNBA, not misogyny.
No.
Because men were supporting you. There are men athletes that was pulling up to WNBA games when they didn't have to, supporting the women.
Yeah.
Women didn't promote it. You were on Lifetime a strong female audience, and you didn't last a year. So that's not misogynist's fault. That's your fault.
Mm-hmm.
You shot yourself in the foot.
I mean, okay, look, it's like this. If they're okay for wrestling, I used to wrestle folk style in high school, and there's at least 3 styles of American wrestling that I'm aware of: freestyle, folk style, and Greco-Roman. I was pretty good I was pretty good folk style, but freestyle, I wasn't very good at. I'm just saying, I just wasn't very good. I wasn't horrible, but there were people who were way better than me.
okay.
And Greco-Roman, I'm not even going to go there. I mean, I wasn't really a thrower, whatever. But so I would watch all of them because they're interesting. However, I would more than likely watch folk style. I would watch the other stuff, but I mean, I know exactly what's happening in that, whatever. I mean, the other styles aren't necessarily my forte, but I would give them a go, But my favorite would be folk style. I mean, I'm just saying, that's me. However you feel about it, that's on you. But women, all they had to do, and I'm being general here because I'm pretty sure there were some women who were watching it, but just not enough. I mean, in general, there weren't enough women watching it because the thing is, men and women apparently like watching men's basketball and men's sports. But women's sports, I mean, something some people were saying about it is that it's not as exciting because not many people are dunking. I mean, the technical skills are probably there. I mean, I don't watch it. I mean, that's what I'm saying. Probably.
Their technical skills, yes, is definitely there. But the thing with women's basketball is that when they look bad, it looks bad.
Well,
like, because there's only 3 women that can dunk.
Well, hopefully.
And then on top of that, the Brittany Griner situation, you would think it would bring more eyes to the WNBA. It didn't help because at the end of the day, Brittany Griner is responsible for her actions.
Yeah.
She did that to herself.
Like
I hate to be an asshole about it.
Well, why are you being an asshole? You're just telling the truth.
But people are sensitive.
That's on them. That's a them problem.
Yeah, that is definitely a them problem. So, me, like, look on the outside looking in, you shouldn't have had that shit in Russia anyway.
No.
So,
no.
But people talking about if she was making the money LeBron was making, she wouldn't be in Russia. If she was promoting her sport, she would be able to get the money that LeBron is making instead of getting what she's getting.
A lot of people were talking about how they're not getting paid as much. Same thing with the women's soccer team. But if they had more revenue, the more revenue they make, the more money they make. It turns out a while ago they actually checked to see if the female soccer team was making more money. They checked into it, and it turns out they were actually making more money based off of the amount of money that they were making than the men were. Like the percentage, I don't know what the percentage is, but say for instance, the men may make 10% of whatever revenue, or even like 5%. I don't know.
Uh-huh.
Women were making like 7 or 8% of whatever they were making. So it's like even though they were getting less money than the men, they were making more money than they were making a higher percentage of money than men. So even though the actual amount that they had was lower, the percentage from the revenue was way higher. So, and they were arguing about that. Well, if we did this the same way that you're getting from men, you'd actually make a smaller percentage, so you'd make less money. So it's like, okay, wait a second. No, we don't want that. And they weren't getting less money just because they're women. They were getting less money because they weren't making, they weren't being showed the same way. So if something's not as popular, it's not going to cost as much. Guess why? Because people aren't buying it.
That's true.
Like in most cases, if you wanted to get the color black of almost anything, or even white, is a much higher seller. It's a better seller. Pink tends to be the lower seller. So if they had a pink radio, like if you furnish your entire house with everything pink, it would cost way less. You know. Now,
Right.
and they were talking about how they're charging extra for female razors. Well, yeah, because the razors that men use are of a lower quality. They don't have to like if you really think about where they shave their face. Men shave their face. You don't have to put a lot of technology in that to make it extremely sensitive. Women shave in more sensitive areas. So you're paying for the technology that makes it easier and, safer to shave there. Now, you can get the men's stuff, but I don't know if you've ever seen certain men's faces after they shave. They have those little
Razor bumps.
yeah. I mean, not just razor bumps and cuts, but they'll have like little toilet paper. They get the that pencil thing that they use. I mean, like if you want to do that, go right ahead.
Equality.
But the thing is, you're paying more because of all the research that went into those particular ones. You don't have to buy them though. You can buy the men's version. Go right ahead. But the technology for making it, better for you isn't quite there. I'm just saying.
Listen.
And the thing is, they make it pink or any of the other pastel colors because they do think that women find those more attractive. I'm saying. Now, if it's true or not, I mean, whatever.
They associate pink with being a girl. Breast cancer awareness is pink.
Yeah.
And they say fight like a girl.
Yeah.
And like, I don't know what's wrong with this world, but your arms are too short to be boxing with biology. Because the way you're identified is by your gender. And last I checked, it was only two. There's male and there's female. We do things that the other can't do.
And vice versa.
And vice versa. Our bone structures are even different. I think our bone structures more.
Well, because of the fact that men tend to, on average, tend to be stronger, we tend to have denser bone.
That's the word I was looking for.
Because of the more you're able to lift, or the more you lift, the denser your bone has to be in order to support it. So, like you can potentially you could be as strong as Superman or the Hulk, but if your bones are human bones, they're gonna break every time you try to lift something. I'm just saying that's the nature of it.
But yes, our skeletal structures are even different. When you die, the coroner is gonna identify you as male or female, and you can't argue with the coroner because that's who you biologically are. You can't change that. You can add these little hormone blockers and you can do all of that shit to you, but this is why the trans people suicide rate is so high. This is why body dysmorphia is so high amongst your group. You're destroying yourselves.
The one thing that I don't quite get. Now, to be fair, I'm not trans, so that may be part of the reason why I don't get it. Although at the same time, if I was on the inside looking out, I probably wouldn't see it either, because it's probably better to look at it from a different perspective.
Right.
Body dysmorphia is a psychological issue that you fix, or at least some people fix, by altering their body. But they still have the same psychological issue. Now, to be fair, it may not be a mental issue. It potentially could be a structural issue in the brain, but still the end result is a mental issue.
Like, I talk my shit about that community, but I honestly feel for them because they go through. They go through a lot. They go through a lot mentally, physically, and all that other stuff. Yeah. Like I said, we crack our jokes about you, but deep down inside, I treat everybody like human beings.
You have to. I mean, do you know
what's up?
That I often have people, especially people who are well, I don't want to say if they're unattractive, but people who aren't accustomed to getting flirted with will think that I'm flirting with them because I treat them like a human. You understand? Like, I treat them the way that I treat everybody, and they think that I'm flirting with them because I'm treating them like a human. Like that's it's actually kind of sad because I don't really flirt very much, well, I'm just saying I don't.
Well,
So
you don't need to flirt.
well, I'm saying, but still, even if I did, even if I did need to,
you did, right.
I just it's not a thing I do. So the fact that people think that I'm flirting because I'm treating them like a human is kind of sad, and it actually speaks to the type of behavior that they're accustomed to. Like if me just talking to you and saying hi, asking you how you are, that's pretty much the most small talk I'm able to do. Asking you like, did you sleep well? And I mean, I'm actually concerned. I mean, if you're not able to sleep, I would.
No,
like,
he
hey.
literally believe it or not, for those who know Vince personally, like I do, he does ask those questions
Yeah.
a lot. He asks me, "Do I sleep well?" He asks me, "How's my shoulder?
Yeah.
How's my family?" He's a genuine person when he asks these questions, because that's always been him. When I first met him, that's who he was. He hasn't changed, and I damn near known you what.
At least 10 years.
Almost
At minimum.
At minimum a decade.
Yeah.
So no, he's always been that guy. It's just like, speaking of flirting, I'm gonna get into the subject of relationships
Okay.
because my relationship life has been an epic fail.
Congratulations. It's
Hey.
epic. You're focusing on the wrong word. It's epic.
Fail.
Epic.
Fail.
Epic. Epic.
F.A.I.L.
Epic.
U.R.E.
Right. Get out. Fabulous, awesome, incredible, and lovely.
But you are getting a boosie though.
Right.
Hey, bro, come on now, dog.
Oh, goodness.
Come on,
Go
man.
ahead. Go ahead.
I was with a friend,
Woo!
and maybe I've come to the conclusion that I was in my feelings.
Okay.
We was kicking it. We smoked weed, watched Harry Potter together,
Nice.
and her cuddle buddy,
Wait, what?
her fuck buddy,
Ah.
hit her up, and I guess they were talking. She said she was with me, and I guess he was somewhat jealous or whatever. And she's like, I have absolutely zero interest in this guy. We're not even touching. He's just right here. Now, although what she said was true, I felt the way.
Yeah, I get it.
I felt kind of dissed.
Yeah.
I'm like, damn. Like, I applaud her for keeping it real,
Mm-hmm.
but damn, you shot me, stood over the body and teabagged.
Oh, damn.
I felt like, am I wrong for feeling like I should be dissed? I was dissed.
Yes.
Okay.
So you pretty much knew what it was when you started. It's not. I mean, like, were you interested in her? I mean, look. Okay. I'll say this. In most cases, regardless of the situation, if you're attractive, I'm interested in you. It doesn't necessarily mean that I'm going to do anything. And I probably would, like, no, I'm good. I mean, you get what I'm saying?
You know what? Maybe
So-
I think it was because I actually seen it in front of my face for the first time.
Okay.
Cause like, I've been rejected before, and I've been told before with and I accept that. I play my role. If you're not interested, cool. I'm absolutely fine with that. But seeing it the way that I saw it, kind of like taking me aback. I was taken aback by that. And I was like, damn, should I feel dissed? And like, why do I feel dissed?
Right.
You know, it happens. But and she, like I said, she didn't do anything wrong.
Mm-hmm.
She literally just told the truth.
Yep.
And I'm like, damn.
Well, think about it like this. Were you interested in her?
At
I'm
one
saying.
point I was.
Okay. At one point, was she interested in you?
She never was.
So
That's how I found out.
So this is how this goes. So that's pretty much like that meme that they have on Facebook where Zach is kissing Lisa, and then in the next panel they show Screech in a tuxedo with flowers. I guess it was a dance or something.
Yeah.
Yeah. And so they were kissing, and people were saying, Zach was wrong. Now, to be fair, I understand. I do, to a certain extent, I understand why people would say that.
Because they're friends.
Right.
R.I.P. Screech.
Yeah. At the same time, she was not interested in him at all. He was a stalker. I mean, the entire time that they knew each other, she wanted nothing. Like didn't they meet in kindergarten or something?
Yeah.
And up until high school, he had been asking, and she said no.
Now, at that very moment, I knew how Screech felt.
Mm-hmm.
But I'm not Screech. I didn't act like Screech.
Right. Now, to be fair, was he wrong for the way he acted? Now that's a question.
Now, that's a good
Now
question.
the thing is, he could do what he wants. Now the thing is, she was his friend because he liked her. So to a certain extent, while they were friends, and she was annoyed by him, he still was her friend, and it was more along the lines that he was extra nice to her. Like the thing is, and people can't say that if someone they find attractive is doing something, they're gonna be extra nice. It's not an on purpose thing. But it's like, to a certain extent, attractive people have privilege. Like, and I wouldn't take that away from them. Keep it, use it. It's yours. You earned it by the fact that you have it. I'm saying. I mean, I don't know. I mean, look.
Like for instance, in my situation,
Okay.
I didn't pursue anything after that.
Yeah.
Like, I accepted it for what it was, and I moved on.
As well you should.
And, I think when I saw it in front of me, like I did, it kind of opened up an old wound. But, yeah, I was caught in that moment. And after that moment, I moved on.
As well you should.
It's just like...
Because you're mentally stable.
Yeah, and I'm I'm also slowly trying to rebuild my self-esteem, because believe it or not, ladies and gentlemen, Caitlin and Bruce, I've been single for 16 years. And the way my last relationship ended was me walking in on her cheating.
Huh.
That, if I could put my self-esteem in a video game, that was critical.
Man.
That was super effective.
You have been critically wounded.
Yes.
You are finished here.
I probably had 1 HP left after that. I had enough HP just to take my ass to the damn healing station.
All right.
And just sit there for 15 years.
Right.
Because that wounded me. My self-esteem was lower than gas prices in the 90s.
Wow.
I didn't want to talk to women. It got to the point where even if I knew the girl liked me, I friend-zoned myself. I put myself there. Because I didn't want any parts of that.
Oh, I get that.
And women have done more things to me to try to destroy me mentally than any man has. And I've been betrayed by a few people. But the way women have done me as of late, it's just like, it got to the point where taking care of myself, I didn't care anymore. Which is one of the reasons I gained weight. Which is one of the reasons I don't even keep myself. Like this shit, I normally have this cut. I'm normally a clean cut dude, but after that, it just ruined everything I wanted to be.
Well, I'll say this. Why would you let that girl who cheated on you have so much control over the direction of your life?
And you know what? Over that, and that's what kind of put me in that rut, because I had to ask myself that.
Okay.
Because one thing my father has taught me, you gotta look in the mirror first before you start pointing the finger.
Mm-hmm.
And I would look in the mirror and I didn't like the man that I was seeing, and I was trying to figure out what was I doing wrong, not her.
Yeah. But we'll think about it like this. Think about a butterfly. They have everything inside of them. Everything. Anything that, or actually caterpillar. Everything inside of them. All the good, all the bad. Like pretty much they're able to do whatever they need to do. Like they're eating on a leaf, you know, they're crawling around doing whatever. And then they're at a certain point they go into a cocoon. All of their genes, all of their cells like become like a jelly or like some type of liquid, rearranges itself, and they climb out as a butterfly. Now the thing is, inside of them they had everything that they would need, the good stuff and the bad. And all they had to do was go into a cocoon. Everything rearranged in the best possible way, and now they're able to fly. They're beautiful.
Yeah.
Everybody loves butterflies.
True.
Now the thing is, if someone were to step on a caterpillar, they might feel bad. It's like, oh, I mean, you know, whatever.
Right.
But if someone kills a butterfly,
yeah.
dude, what is wrong with you? Are you a psychopath?
Yeah, what's wrong with you?
Right. And the thing is, it's the same, you know, the same insect. But like I said, pretty people.
Prettiest people do the ugliest things.
Well,
with the exception of a butterfly.
Well, no, but what I'm getting at is pretty people. People tend to act like being attractive isn't a privilege. Like, you understand that the reason why models model is because they're attractive. They want to get the way that they look connected to the clothes they wear, so you buy the clothes. I'm saying. That's the same thing if you're going to have an athlete doing something. The reason why, also most not every single athlete, but most athletes are more attractive than someone who's not an athlete. And there's a bunch of different things dealing with that, but it's like, it's connected. So, I mean, it's a bunch of other things with that, but they're attractive and they get treated better. I'm saying, like, if I mean, anyone who makes you feel better in whatever way they do it, if they have a wonderful voice, if they happen to be extremely attractive, if they're like, face-wise, or even, their body or whatever, if they happen to be extremely good at something, and by them doing that, it just, like, oh man, I like the way you do that. Not necessarily sexually, mind you, but I'm saying like for instance, there's an artist. His name's Rob Pryor. Like, for me, watching him is amazing. He paints comic stuff. I mean, he paints more stuff than that. But like he'll go to various comic cons, and he'll paint comics. So he'll do like Deadpool. I mean, anybody, Batman. Whatever. But when he paints in watercolor. And he paints with both hands simultaneously. You understand what I'm saying? So he's like doing this. And then I've actually worked a booth with him. And he'll be painting. And it's like, this guy wants you to sign it. So I'll give it to him. He'll sign it. I'll hold it. And he'll do that. And then he'll go back to, like, what? This is freaking amazing to me. You're
giving a lot of shout outs today.
Well, I'm saying, like, people are awesome. And so he's quite, I mean, I won't say he's the best artist that I know, but watching him do that, like watching him paint is as satisfying as the end result of what he paints. Like it's part of it. And like I'm like, wow. I'm just like the first time I saw him, I was just I was standing there staring at him, like staring at what he was drawing for like half an hour. Just like, you know, and like he's amazing. I mean, I don't know if he'll ever, you know, I don't know if he'll ever listen to this, but you're awesome. Like I don't know how else I could put that out there. You're awesome. Like really, you're awesome.
Round of applause.
I'm saying he is. And his artwork is amazing. Like I don't know, I might be biased. I don't know, but I really like it. I'll just say that at the minimum, I really like it.
I gotta check him out because, like, I'm a fan of the arts, so I'm gonna definitely check him out. I know people was probably like, "Wait a minute, we was just talking about a relationship. How does this? What does that have to do with what we just said?"
Well, I mean, look. He paints so beautifully, and I'm not sure why I went to that, but maybe it's because of the butterfly and the color. I'm not sure.
And the whole beauty thing.
No. You know what it was? It was because when I watch him do that, I get a really good feeling. So I mean, he's actually a pretty good guy. But if he was a meaner guy, I would be at a conflict because of how well he paints and the way that he does that. It's just amazing to me. You know. So I mean, what I was getting at is that his art and the way that he does it gives me a really good feeling.
Okay.
You know, and just like, you know, other things do get priority for stuff if you appreciate the way it works, if they give you a good feeling, just like when people are attractive. I'm just saying. So the fact that you felt bad about what happened with her, you know, like you probably would have been able to get someone at least as good as far as relationship and quite possibly more attractive than her, but you closed yourself off.
Yeah, I did, and there was a few reasons why I did it. Because at the time, I was very naive.
Well,
I was very naive at the time because, in the words of Maya Angelou, she told me who she was and I didn't believe her. She says, I don't want to get with you because I'll only end up hurting you. And me and my naive brain was saying, hey, I'm a good guy. You're not going to do that.
oh no.
Man, she
Famous
did.
last words.
And she did it. And I was more disappointed in myself because I let myself walk into that trap.
Well, I mean,
And it didn't help that, you know, she's in her situation. And then, unfortunately, well, I'm not going to get into the ending of that story.
well, look. At some point, everybody has to learn something. Sometimes you're able to learn it from other people. Sometimes you have to learn it yourself. If you're fortunate enough, you can learn it from someone else as opposed to going through it yourself. Unless you just like a lot of pain. I'm just saying, some people are like that.
Right.
You know, I mean, at one point, I learned how to skate within about 3 hours. So I went from not being able to skate to being able to skate and turn, which was a hard, you know, a difficult thing for me, within 3 hours. And I must have fallen about 60 times within that time.
Damn.
And at first, because the thing is, it was during a family reunion. One of my cousins hit me, and I wanted to catch her, but she knew how to skate. I did not. So as soon as I would just about get enough speed to catch her, she would turn. It's like, crap. So I'd have to wind up hitting the wall, turning around, and skating back. But by the time I would get to her, that would wind up happening over and over again. So, all right, cool. I need to learn how to turn. So, all right, cool. So, bam, 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 bam. Like, okay. So I watched everybody. Like, how are they turning? Oh, okay, I get it. So now I know how to turn. So I'm going through all this. I would still fall, you know, because like, you know, whatever. But, you know, I would eventually get it. Now, I don't skate for probably 2 years. The next time I skate, it was at I was in high school, and it was like it was at a friend's birthday party or something, and I only fell down, and I skated just as much, but I only fell down 20 times. It's like, oh man, that was okay, cool.
Pretty productive skate.
You know, the next time I skated, which was several years after that, like maybe like 5 or 6 years after that, I only fell down like 10 times. And the time after that, I only fell down once. Now the thing is, I wasn't doing this on purpose like that. It's just so I just didn't really go out skating. But the last time I skated, I think I fell down once. And the thing is, I wasn't even, putting everything into it each time. It was like I was just skating. It felt like I was skating from where I left off.
Muscle memory.
Yeah. And the thing is, I was putting a lot into it when I would do it too. So it's not like if you were to put a lot into whatever you're learning, you're not going to learn it well. It's just that you have to put a lot of focus into it. You have to, like, basically that has to be, you have to have a really nice motivation. You have to actually, skate well. I mean, I'm just saying. But I guess what I'm getting at is that I fell down a lot. And eventually, I fell down less and less. And eventually, I was able to skate without falling. Now, if I skated more often, I probably would have gone through that faster. And I probably could have, gotten to the point of only, falling down once or not falling at all within about a year. Mm-hmm. But because I spaced it out, it took me so long.
I got you.
I'm just saying.
Yeah, that's basically, that sound like me in my relationship. Like, I fell down a lot. Now, over time, I just spend time adjusting myself.
Mm-hmm.
Because I was a kid dating a grown woman. Not to say that I was actually a kid, but my mentality at that time was that
I get
childish.
I get that.
I was a kid dating a grown woman. That was my first mistake. My second was being naive. And my third was carrying that bitterness. I shouldn't have been bitter. I should have just moved on and accepted for what it was instead of trying to fight for something that wasn't there.
Well, you know what? Even people who are able to get over things like that, unless you know how, most people never really get over it. I mean, you can, easily even. It's just that in most cases, if people don't know how to either shut their emotions off, like most people in your situation, they would have just completely shut their emotions off and not felt anything, in which case that is still them winning. That person won because they made you do something that's not beneficial for you. And then the other way is to actually, learn from the situation so that it wouldn't happen again.
Yeah, and then on top of that, I had to, sex scared me. Sex scared me.
Give yourself a round of applause. Most men aren't strong enough to admit that. I'm saying they do not.
Yeah, no, it's something I'm open to admit. At that time, sex scared me. Everything scared me. Like, it was hard to be intimate with women after that. Like, I was in a mood, but fear set in.
Yeah.
Like I was actually celibate for 3 years just off the strength that I was scared to even do anything with a female intimately.
Fear is a powerful motivator. You can accomplish almost anything if you use fear, either for yourself or for others. It's just that it's not necessarily the best for yourself, because
right, because like I said, that fear did some damage. It motivated me, but it did its damage. And even now, like now that I've incorporated more meditations and more weed. No, people don't understand. I never chased a high. The only thing I wanted weed to do was this job was to lower my anxiety and slow down my thought process. Because I think too quickly when I'm sober. And it leads to me making rash decisions. But when I smoke, it slows everything down. It gives me time to like reflect on this decision and come to a positive or negative conclusion.
Well, you know, that's interesting. What I tend to do is I like to speed my thinking process up so that I'd be able to handle anything that popped up. For instance, when I watch certain videos, like on YouTube or just, you know, things I may download from somewhere, I will watch them at about, at minimum 2 times speed, at minimum. You know, and quite possibly I can actually maintain focus on things if I listen and or watch things up to about 3.2x speed. I mean, I could probably do 3.6, but I have to really focus at it. Like, okay, all right, cool. You know, it'd take more effort for me to pay attention. But I could actually do about 3.2 and be comfortable and possibly even do other things while I'm doing that. Now, the thing is, I've found by me doing that, my reaction time is way faster than most people. I'm not saying like I'm the Flash or anything, but I'm able to see things quicker. I don't think it works that way, but you get what I mean.
No, I get what you mean. But no, I get what you mean. Because, like, with me, because I realized something about myself, because that lady in Japan saved my life later on in life.
Okay.
The reason I say that is because the last time I got legit angry as to where that star became a meteorite, I had a heart attack.
That's what anger will do to you. I'm serious. Like, specifically, the emotion of anger is not good for the heart for a bunch of different reasons. But
And I realized what she did wasn't just because I was an angry kid. She was trying to save my life later on.
mm-hmm.
Because if I carried that same anger I carried as a kid, I would not be here.
Yeah, same.
I would not be here. So in retrospect, she saved my life. Because like now, even with my relationship situation, if I carried that anger, I would have did something stupid. But instead, like it hurt me, and I went through a couple months of like moping around. Not even a couple months, maybe a month of moping around, and then I had to pick myself up because my father told me sympathy is a bad thing. I disagree.
It depends on how it's used.
Yeah, but he taught me first thing, don't ask for sympathy.
Oh, no. Okay. Having sympathy for other people is one thing, but don't expect them to have it for you.
Yeah. So that's one of the first lessons he taught me.
And also, be kind as much as you can to people because you really don't know what they're going through. And even a small bit of kindness could potentially save someone's life.
Facts.
So
that is a fact. Like for instance, last night I had a moment. I had a personal moment with myself, cause not
pause.
No, not like that.
No, go ahead.
But I call my personal moments like when I'm thinking or meditating,
okay.
or and reflecting on shit that's like happened. So I was having a moment to myself because I live alone again, and it was quiet. And and that situation I brought up came rearing its ugly head, and that self-doubt started kicking in, and I'm like, nah, I should not feel this because this is what she said in the beginning. It's not like she led me on or anything. She said this day one.
Mm-hmm.
I moved on, and it's just you're taken aback by what you're seeing.
You know, that's almost exactly, like I said, that's almost exactly what happened with Screech, Zach, and Lisa. Because at no point was there any possibility for Screech and Lisa to get together.
Right.
It's like, no, I don't like you. I'm never going to like you. Leave me alone. And Screech is like, man, I just have to try harder.
Right.
So, I mean, look, I mean, the only potential thing that I would say that Zach did was knowing that, you know, he liked her. But at the same time, he could have easily said, dude, she doesn't like you. You need to move on. You know what? I could even potentially, help you out and, change a few things about yourself so that you'll actually be more attractive to women. Now, the thing is, I'm not saying that he have to change himself, but I mean, I guess what I am saying is changing yourself for the better is still changing yourself.
Right.
I'm saying, like, if you become more mentally stable, if you have more direction in life, if you, work out, increase your health, get proper rest, that's actually also changing yourself if you're not doing a good job of that,
Yeah, and that was one of my things. I wasn't doing a good job of that. I was losing sleep. As you can see, I blew up in fucking weight.
No.
And I was doing a lot of harm to myself. And that's because I wanted to look as shitty as I felt.
Oh, that's not good. I mean, so to a certain extent, you have body dysmorphia. So, but again, you do know that it's a mental thing, and doing that is not necessarily the sanest thing to do. Because I mean, okay. Me personally, I have a high survival instinct, so I do my best to make myself my best. Like whatever that is, whatever that means to you, you become your best. But I do my best to be my best, and especially being better than I was yesterday. And that's the only person you really have to compete with. You yesterday. As long as you're better than you were yesterday, that's all that really matters.
Yeah, like for instance, like let's take back what we said earlier about trans people. Reason I said you're destroying yourself because I've been there. I'm not trans, but I have gone out my way to destroy myself. Like,
and even if you don't necessarily agree with what he's saying, you may be changing yourself, but in order to change, you do have to destroy what you were.
Yeah.
So
you have to destroy what you were. So like I said, my self-destruction and your self-destruction is two completely different things. But the common denominator is that we destroyed ourselves. That's just me speaking. And I'm willing to admit that because it's one of the things I went through. If you saw pictures of me before I got into that relationship, I used to look like you physically.
Interesting.
I was lean and shape, and then after that situation, I got into this mode where I just wanted to look as shitty as I felt.
Well, you need to feel better.
Over time, I did.
Okay.
I still struggle with it because the injury didn't help my situation. Because like when you go through the same thing 3 times, and
you didn't learn enough from the first time. That's why it kept happening.
But that's the thing. All of them, the first time was a freak accident because it was black ice in the truck. I asked for assistance. It wasn't given to me, so I literally did a job on one side.
No, I get it. I'm not saying it's your fault, and I'm not saying that you're to blame. I'm saying that you need to take responsibility for the fact that you put yourself in that situation. The fact that you needed help and they wouldn't help you, You should have said, I need help and I'm not going to do anything until I get help.
Right, but
I'm just saying.
no, I understand.
And again, I'm not saying, essentially what I'm saying is, you need to be at cause for anything that happens. Because the more that you're at cause, you'll have more control over yourself. And the more control you have over yourself, well, the better you'd be able to produce results. I mean, because think about that. If you had controlled yourself in that situation and put yourself at cause, it's like, well, I'm not going to do it until I get help. I mean, that's one potential thing.
Yeah, no, and that's the thing. The first time it happened, I learned from it, and I did put myself in that situation again.
Mm-hmm.
The second time it happened, I'm like, wait a minute. I did everything right, and it still happened. So what am I doing wrong? So that I was out again, and then this third time, now the third time it happened, I took a break from the whole field for at least a year, 2 years. I trained my body to like get back to it, to warehouse work, because it's what I know. So I start doing small warehouse jobs, see how my body reacts to it. If it didn't react well, cut it out, stop it. It's time to hang up your work boots. My body got good. I started to lose weight, and I started to get my confidence back. So I said, you know what? Let me try it again. So I go with the company, try it again, and a simple box hits my shoulder. I kid you not.
So there's a story about a guy, and he was walking down some street, and he sees a hole there, and he sees it, like, all right, cool, and he falls in. It's like, damn. So the next day, he's walking down the street, he sees it, he tries to avoid it, and he falls in. Damn. The next day, he walks it, he sees it, he said, okay, I'm gonna avoid it. So he walks off to the side, and he still falls in. The next day, he's walking down the street, and he says, you know what? I'm gonna make an extremely strong effort to stay out of that hole. And so he skates around. It's like, all right, cool. He's right on the other edge of the hole. It's like, all right, cool. I didn't fall. He falls in. And so the next day, he takes a different route. I'm just saying. What you were saying?
No, I get what you're saying.
Mm-hmm.
No, but like I said, it was a simple box that hit my shoulder.
Yeah.
No,
You did everything you could to avoid it.
Yeah, and then it turns out I tore my shoulder and ruptured my bicep.
Yep.
And I'm like,
Perhaps
here we go again. And in my
warehouse
head,
work isn't the best for you.
the before you gave me that story, that was actually my conclusion I was getting to.
Mm-hmm.
Cause like that guy, I was like, maybe I just need to take a different route. Maybe I'm like, cause like to sit in the operating table, and the doctor says again. Like to go to your doctor's office and he sees you, he's like, he didn't even know what was wrong with me. He just saw me, and he was like, he just saw me, and he was like, again? And I looked at him, and I had to say it. Again. So he was like, let's get this MRI. Like, granted, I got hurt December 8th. Now, maybe I just need to stop working in the winter. I need to go on winter break when it comes to working. Because every time I've gotten hurt November 20th, 2013.
Okay.
Then I got hurt November 22nd, 2015.
Okay.
Then after Thanksgiving, November 25th, 2021, I get hurt again. It became official December 8th, but I got hurt at the end of November.
So I wonder, when you were 7 years old or younger, what happened in November?
I think that's probably the first time my head hit some concrete.
Huh. Interesting. Okay.
Yeah, if I'm not mistaken, that's one of the time I got knocked out. And then I had my heart attack in November. Yeah. It's something about the month of November.
No, I know, but that's why I asked.
Yeah.
It's a good chance something happened before age 7, which is why I asked. That, because the thing is, if stuff like that keeps happening around the same time of year, I mean, you could say it's a coincidence, which technically it is a coincidence, and it's a pattern.
Yeah.
I'm just saying.
Like I'm still trying to figure out how what am I doing wrong, because there's no way I
doesn't really mean wrong.
I could keep consistently getting hurt around the same time.
Yeah.
Now it doesn't happen every year, but when it happens, it's at that time. And like I'm like,
I can work with you. I'm saying I know some things that will be able to help you to alleviate whatever that is.
yes.
Yep.
But I'm definitely like, yeah, I got hurt again. I'm like, God damn it, Donnie. Like this shit again. It once again, I was on the path. I was losing weight, get my confidence back. Then that happened, and then I'm like, so I'm just sitting at home, listening to people live their lives, all this other shit, and it came time to get the news. I got the news January 9th of this year. And they said, Donnie, you tore your labrum. I'm like, fuck. I didn't find out about the ruptured bicep till surgery day.
Yeah, by the way.
Yeah. So, and everything that's ever happened to me was also a double whammy.
What do you mean?
Like, when I had my heart attack, I had an anxiety attack.
Well, actually, it probably was the other way around.
No, I know it was the other way around, but I'm saying the double whammy. My anxiety attack led to a heart attack.
Right.
When I got hurt, I tore my rotator cuff and I broke my shoulder. The third time, I tore my labrum and I ruptured my bicep.
I have a question. When you hit your head, did anything else happen?
Yes.
Do you mind sharing? I'm saying.
I think I either got knocked out or I went into a seizure.
Okay.
But it was a double whammy.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Like one thing would trigger another. And I'm like, what the fuck? Like, what's up with these double whammies? And why is it like doing crazy amount of damage to me? So as I sat in the crib, slinked up, like it was even, I wanted to stop podcasting because I didn't think my energy was going to be good enough to pod because I was so down in the dumps. All those podcasts we did when I was in the sling, I was shitty. I was not a happy person.
Well, but how were you on the podcast?
I did it because I had enough time. I had enough time and enough weed to gather myself to say, Donnie, don't feel shitty. You're with your boys. We're potted. We're going to have a good time. And that was that. And then when my living situation changed, that exactly didn't help things either.
Mm-hmm.
Because now I'm clashing with a person that I don't need to be clashing with.
Yeah.
And now that's over. I'm back alone, and I'm like, okay, it's time to do something different. But yeah, I'm like, oh jeez, this shit was terrible. This shit was all bad, bro. It's open. Oh damn, it's not open.
No, I got it. Keep talking.
But yeah, it was terrible as hell. Shit. Yeah, what up, Boom? We still potting. But yeah, it was all bad.
Mm-hmm.
I'm like, oh Jesus. This shit again. Goddamn, boy, that's my bad shoulder.
Yeah.
You give me that hand.
Right.
I know, but if I shake it, that's disrespectful to offer your left hand to somebody.
But we're left-handed, so it's fine.
Okay.
As long as you're both the same hand, it's fine.
Oh, okay.
I think if you're opposite-handed of the person that you're shaking hands, it's more offensive.
Yeah, but I was always taught not to offer your left hand when shaking hands.
Yeah, but that was probably from
No. I got one.
That was probably from a
one.
right. That was probably from a right-handed person, right? Who said that?
Yeah,
Exactly. Motherfucking righties.
but then again, a lot of this world is right-handed people.
That's fine.
But anywho's it. Yeah. And I'm like, God damn, another fucking injury. So after sitting in this damn crib, oxyed out of my goddamn mind, I was like, you know what, Donnie? Regardless of the outcome, it's time to hang up your work boots. Which is why I broke into the other project that I told you about.
Mm-hmm.
Which is why we had the conversation we had.
Mm-hmm.
I started finding things as like, you know what? If I'm going to get rid of this, it's time for me to learn something new.
Mm-hmm.
So I just been spending my time learning stuff new, getting a goddamn headache every single time. But you know what? It was worth it. It's definitely worth it. And I'm happy. For real. I'm definitely happy. But you know what, y'all? I'm going to end this podcast on a positive note. But
Happy, happy, joy, joy, happy, happy, joy, joy.
no,
Happy,
because,
happy,
no,
joy, joy, happy, happy, joy, joy.
No. That dude who did that animation was a sick individual. None of
Right, but I'm not saying his
No.
He
name.
wasn't in the kids though. He just did it out of spite of Nickelodeon. You know that, right? The animator did that. He made Ren and Stimpy in spite of Nickelodeon.
No, it's not Ren. It's not him creating Ren and Stimpy. It's what he was doing outside of that.
What, touching on little kids?
Yes.
Well, not
No, I don't think he was.
well, not extreme. Well,
not extreme.
well, so he wasn't a pedophile. He was a hebephile.
Oh yeah, he was in the kids who were in the teens, the
Yes.
Yes.
Well, no, not pre.
Not pre, they're
Like post
post, yeah, I guess.
or
Some of them are pre.
intra.
He was a nasty individual.
Yes.
Okay. I give you that.
So yeah, fuck that happy, happy, joy shit. I was gonna actually say something else. Take care of your fucking mental health, y'all.
Please do.
Like seriously, whether you're trans, male or female, it doesn't matter.
Both, neither. Doesn't make a difference.
Right. Take care of yourself. Take care of yourself. Take care of your family. And for the love of God, stop with the pronouns. That shit is still absolutely trash. I don't give fuck your pronouns. I'm sorry. Male or female, pick a side. Your arms are too short to box with biology. And I'm sick of you motherfuckers fucking up the English language with that bullshit. Now, I understand that I was supposed to be positive, but it's hard to be positive when you hear stupid shit like that where a nigga gotta damn near speak Swahili in order to get your fucking pronouns. Like, I identified.
Right.
And I probably said something, I'd have fucked your mama with a lamb dick in Swahili. Boosie.
Hey, bro, come on now,
That's
dog.
not Swahili.
Come on, man.
Right. I probably said some real offensive shit right now. So to whoever understands that language, I apologize. So
The motherfucker sitting there like, why did he say he spent $10 on a dildo?
Right.
right.
Where can I find one? Anyway.
Whoa.
Yeah, bush weed, nigga.
Shut up. Anywho's it.
It's not for use, it's for show.
I swear to God.
I'm your host, Octavius Rowe. That's Vincent.
Yo.